Hello, this is Mr. Downey's video blog for December 3rd, 2010. And there's a lot going on at St. Francis here, so I'll dive right in. First and foremost, we want to wish all of you a blessed and happy Advent season as you and your family prepare for the miracle of Christmas and the beauty of the Catholic Christmas season. Around the school, as you can see, we're taking steps to create a more festive environment. We've also set up our Jesse tree, which was donated by Father Bandiera last year, and students are working on their Jesse tree ornaments. It's in the entryway to the school, so when you're by, to go and take a look at what our students are doing there. And we also have given an opportunity for the first time in several years here for students to receive the Sacrament of Reconciliation. That was held today from 9:30 to 11:30. Father Mark came in and heard individual confessions for 2 straight hours. And what we found is there's a lot of demand amongst the students. A lot of them want to receive this beautiful sacrament. So much more than we anticipated showed up, so therefore we were only able to get like 1.5 grade levels done. We have a lot more to do. So Father Mark and I are going to talk about some further opportunities. So the goal is all of the children who would like to receive the Sacrament of Reconciliation during this month will be given that opportunity, and we'll do the same thing again when we get to Lent later on this school year. But again, it was a wonderful opportunity for students, and we're very impressed with the turnout and the desire our students have to better their relationship with Christ and the Church. Some other things are going on. If you haven't already seen it, the first edition of the Falcon Flash student newspaper was released earlier this month. There is a digital copy on the main website if you want to check that out. We also have sent some paper copies home. This is a product of our journalism class, which is part of the electives that we added this year as part of middle school reforms. I'm very proud of all the students. I'm a former journalism moderator when I was a teacher, so I'm very happy with the work that they did. They should be very proud of themselves, and they're working to create an even better edition at the end of this after this end of this current quarter, and for many quarters to come. Hopefully, we'll be able to do an interview with them for one of my video blogs. Speaking of middle school, there's some other parts that are coming up that are part of our reforms, and most notably is the semester exams. This year we're going to be giving students semester exams, comprehensive exams for the whole semester in the major content areas. It's not going to apply to the electives or music or art or phys ed. They're doing portfolios and other projects that are due over the next few weeks for those classes. But for the core academic subjects, religion, English, language arts, math, science, and social studies, students will sit down and take a comprehensive semester exam. Now, there's a couple reasons for this. First of all, we believe that's going to help us have a more authentic assessment of student learning for the teachers to be able to use in their teaching and learning practices each semester. In other words, I know when I was a kid, I was very good at remembering what I learned last week, but if you asked me 10 weeks later, I wasn't likely to remember it. And that can be problematic if it's a key important area of knowledge or a skill that I really do need to have to go on. So it's important to take a step back and have a good exam to understand, okay, what did they retain from the first quarter? What do they still know going forward? And if we find out that there's significant numbers of students that didn't learn an important skill or an important area of content in the first semester, that allows the teacher to go back and cover that again in the second semester. It'll also help us identify individual students that even though the class as a whole is doing well, maybe they're lagging behind a particular area. That'll allow us to provide more focused effort, some more helpful remediation and teaching to help benefit individual students. Now, the other reason that we're doing this is we believe this is part of our responsibility to prepare our middle school students for high school and college and beyond. The reality is in 1 to 3 years, everybody in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade will be in high school, and they'll be taking their semester exams, their final exams. And in high school, they're a lot higher stakes than they are here. So we want to prepare them to go through the process, how to study, what it looks like, how to go through the whole examination procedures. So we've got a schedule set up, we have a process set up that we believe will help train them in how to be good test takers, because the reality is they're going to take them when they're in high school and when they're in college. And of course the all-important SATs and ACTs amongst others. Now the way we're going to do this is as follows. Students are going to get here at 8 o'clock on exam days, which is the last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before Christmas vacation begins. And they're going to spend from 8 to 9 o'clock in a study hall to prepare for that day's exams. Then at 9 o'clock they're going to go to their first examination room, and they'll have a teacher, not the subject teacher. They'll be floating around to answer questions. But one of the other middle school teachers will proctor the exam for them. It'll last about an hour and a half, and we want to do an hour and a half so they have plenty of time to take the test and review it and make sure they've thoroughly answered all the questions or comfortable with what they've done. Now, inevitably, some students are going to get done fast, so parents, please send them with a novel to work on after they're done doing the exam. So this way they're not just sitting there getting a little bit bored and restless during the exam period. Now at 10:30 we're going to have an open campus for the school. Now this is what this means. From 10:30 until about 12:50 we're going to allow students with written permission from their parents or guardians to be able to go with their parents or guardians or with a friend off campus for that stretch. They can go out to lunch, they can maybe go home and rest a little bit, do some studying at home. I'll leave that up to parents about how you utilize it. The catch is you do need to be back no later than 12:50 so that you can get into homeroom and then go to the second exam, which will run from 1 to 2:30. Now for those students who are going to be staying with us during that stretch of time, at 10:30 we're going to give them some downtime, a little bit of time to run around or talk a little bit or just relax and move away from the stress of that first exam. After we give them a chance to relax a little bit, we'll have another hour-long study hall session. And that'll go from about 11:30 or so, if not earlier, till about 12:30. And then between 12:15 and 12:30, depending on how grades 3 to 5 lunch is going, we'll have students come into the cafeteria and they'll have their regular lunchtime. So again, if you choose to have your students stay here at school, they'll be well taken care of. They'll get plenty of opportunities to relax and study, and we'll still provide them with lunch. So those are the two, that's the schedule that'll be working. Now at 12:50, they'll come back, they'll need to be in homeroom. We'll go ahead and take the exam at that time. We'll do a study hall to prepare them to take the exam. And at 1 o'clock, they'll go to the exam room and they'll take the exam, and that'll go from 1 to 2:30. Now, if students are late coming back from open campus, they just lose that time. So if they get here at 1:15, that's 15 minutes less that they have to finish taking the exam. So that's one thing. We want to make sure they're all back here by 12:50. And then at 2:30, the exams will be done, and that's right when we usually do our normal dismissal procedures, and they'll go right into that. On a final note, I know some of you will be taking your kids out of town that week or maybe a little bit early, or kids get sick. In those cases, we will schedule the exam for the students as quick as possible upon their return. There'll be more information coming out in a letter to parents and also in the email bulletins, so keep a lookout for that. So that is it for Mr. Downey's video blog for today. I will talk to you soon, and have a blessed and wonderful Advent. Thank you.